to do these in order to do a test drive video, I had to find the smoothest roads available in order to get a somewhat of a steady shot, because this is a rough riding vehicle. It is zippy. It does have plenty of power. It's very nimble in the curves, and acceleration is excellent. The handling is solid. It does have the stiff suspension to where you're going to feel every little bump in the road. Now that helps with the stability in the vehicle. That's why it has the stiff suspension. And the acceleration with the speed of the transmission shifts is very impressive. Especially when you use the paddle shifters to accelerate and you have those shift points. The nanosecond that you pull that paddle shifter, it's instantly in the next gear. It's absolutely amazing how fast the transmission can shift through the gears. As far as just driving it, just kind of cruising along like this, it is quite pleasant as long as there's not a lot of bumps in the road. So this is a fairly smooth road, and even still, you know, you're going to feel a little bit of bumping here and there, but that's normal in most vehicles. But it is a pleasant ride for the most part. Now, if you're on a really bumpy road, it feels like you're on a mechanical bull sometimes. It's really not fun. But as far as just a normal cruising like this, it really is a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Considering the size of the vehicle, the weight, and the stiffness of the suspension. Now the steering, the adaptive cruise control is really good as far as keeping a distance from other vehicles and all that. The steering is the turning, the ratio in which you have to turn the steering wheel is relatively short compared to the turning of the wheel. So you really don't have to turn it a whole lot in order for you to, you know, make those turns. You know, there's you have a lot of control there. So that's really nice, especially if you're around here. There's not very many curves, but it's just wide open flat land basically. But if you're in an area in which you have a lot of switchbacks and stuff in the mountains or something, being able to make those turning the steering wheel without, you know, constantly going this number here, turning, you know, making those sharp turns, so without turning the steering wheel so much, would be really nice. To get into some bumpy roads here, and you do have quite a bit of road noise as well. braking is really good. Now, as far as the actual braking, getting the vehicle to stop, it is absolutely fantastic. There is some noise. I noticed this with another Supra as well. It's not just this vehicle. When you are just kind of creeping along very slow, right about when the vehicle's about to stop holding the brake, you have this like whining noise, rubbing the brake calipers, the brake pads are rubbing against the discs and making like a noise. It's very odd. I thought it was just a fluke on the first car, but this car has the same issue, especially going in reverse. You really can feel the acceleration is like the engine. It's not that the engine's so powerful, it's just the vehicle's so light, so it's just like really able to accelerate so fast because of the so light vehicle with a tremendous amount of power. But it's not like like a muscle car power. It has like that more of a, I guess, more like a Porsche feel or something like that, in which it's not a heavy vehicle, but it's not a super powerful vehicle. So you have that acceleration based on the horsepower to weight ratio. You got to watch out because it's so easy to accelerate so quick that it's easy to go faster than what you really want to go. So what we'll do is put the cruise control on, so that way we don't get a ticket. So here we are cruising on the highway. So we're going about 64. Now it has a lane keep assist system in which you can adjust the vibration of the steering wheel, because it will vibrate the steering wheel if you get too close to the line, and it'll kind of try to keep you in there, and it gets a little annoying after a while, but it's not really that bad. But it's something to adjust to your preferences depending on how wide the road is. If it's a very narrow road, then it's constantly giving you these vibrations in the steering wheel, and that kind of gets annoying. So because you're always close to the lines because it's a narrow road. But so like this is a wide road, so it's not you don't get a lot of false alarms and all that stuff. And on a relatively